What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of 3 Minute Mysteries. Today, we'll be stopping over in Socorro, New Mexico. While we're on the way, you might as well use this time to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, add me on Instagram and Facebook at Lamont Cummings. Jacob Landin was a giggly, fearless baby with a big personality who was born April 10th, 1987. Unfortunately, he did not make it to his first birthday. His young life was taken at just 9 months old in the town called Socorro, New Mexico. In the more than 36 years since his death, Jacob's killer has never been brought to justice. Unlike many cold cases, however, his family hasn't spent the last 3 decades wondering who was responsible for ending his life. Rather, their unanswered question is why that person hasn't been brought to justice. Jacob had a big personality for a baby. His older brother Eric Carter Landin said in an interview with Project Cold Case. Even through the phone, Eric's smile was plainly evident when he talked about Jacob. I prayed for my baby brother to be born, and when I found out my mom was pregnant, it was one of the happiest days of my life. I was ecstatic. I was running around yelling and screaming, recalled Eric. I was 6 years old when Jacob died. And suddenly enough, injuries started appearing on Jacob, and they were serious issues like skull fractures. At one point, the baby was hospitalized due to blunt force trauma to the head, and doctors had to drain fluid buildup in his brain. These were not the bumps and bruises of an energetic toddler. At the time, the man the boy's mom was dating tried to blame 6-year-old Eric for hurting his brother. According to Carter Landin, no one bought this rationale for even a minute. But to be cautious, his mom decided to send him to visit his dad in California. But the injuries didn't stop, Eric said. One day, while Eric was with his dad, Jacob was left in the care of his mom's boyfriend for an hour while she was wrapping up a shift at work. Jacob's grandmother had originally been watching him but needed to go to church, so the decision was made to have the boyfriend take care of the baby for a short while. Carter Landin estimates that it was only about 40 to 45 minutes later that the boyfriend went running into his mom's work to tell her that Jacob was in the hospital with no explanation. His injuries were so severe that the hospital in Socorro, New Mexico was not equipped to care for him and airlifted him to Albuquerque. Again, Jacob's injuries were so severe that the second hospital was not equipped to care for him and airlifted him again, this time to the University of New Mexico, and he finally was rushed into emergency surgery. Jacob didn't make it through surgery. He died that night, Carter Landin said quietly. What happened after Jacob died is more puzzling than his tragic death itself. His case was investigated by police. Carter Landin's mom, grandmother, and his mom's boyfriend were all interviewed by the authorities. At one point, he explained, "The case file indicates that the boyfriend was set to take a polygraph, but didn't because he confessed to the crime. But there's no transcript of the confession. There's no audio recordings. There's no signed confession," he said. "There's nothing to indicate what he confessed to or what circumstances the confession was given."